ठीक है, परफेक्ट है।
So
मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ।
so today today we are going to learn about MySQL joins,
ओके।
and we are going to understand inner, left and right joins with the help of examples and when to apply them. Okay. So for reference, we have this trading database, which is nothing but the Northwind database. Okay.
ओके।
So first of all, we'll take two tables. We'll consider two tables. One is category table and second is products table.
यस
So
सर।
this is the products table. In products table, you can see we have product ID, product name, supplier ID, and category ID.
यस
Okay.
सर।
So here, with the help of Venn diagram, first of all, this is called a Venn diagram that we are designing. So we'll create a set, and in this set, we will write. I will write it as PID. Okay, we'll understand its product ID, P name, price, and there are other columns like stock, etc.
सर,
Here we have cat ID also. Okay,
आप जो कॉमन
so
एलिमेंट बोल रहे थे ना, वो मैं अब समझ गई आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं।
हाँ,
आप ये बोल
so
रहे हैं कौन सी जो है।
exactly. Now we have another table, that is category. Okay, so one way to explain this is we have category name and category description. Okay,
यस सर।
so you can see that the column category ID is common between these two tables.
करेक्ट,
Okay,
करेक्ट,
this is
करेक्ट।
categories table. Okay,
यस सर।
this is categories table, and this is products table. So one way to understand is this, like with the help of Venn diagram, we can understand the arrangement of columns, right?
यस सर।
This is on the basis of what columns are there between them. Okay. But there is one more thing, that is values in them. Okay.
यस सर।
So the other example starts when we start examining the values in them. So now value wise, this is all column wise. Okay. Now we'll consider value wise. So suppose there are total 9 categories or 8 categories in the categories table. Okay. 8 categories in the categories table. And all these 8 categories have products.
ओके।
All these 8 categories have products. Okay. So in that case, what type of diagram will be there if you are trying to understand that this is products table, this is category. So all the records are within it, within the categories table, right? All the records in product have all the categories. Okay. But suppose there, so first let's take the example and we'll understand it with the help of example. Okay. So here, first of all, see how many categories are there? 8 categories. Okay.
यस सर।
Beverages, condiments, confection, dairy, and so on. And if we go to products and we write select distinct category ID from products. Okay. This is how much? 8. Okay. So this means that in these two tables, all these 8 categories are present in the products table. Okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
means every category has at least one product. Do you get this?
Yes, sir.
Every category has at least one product. That's why when we did the distinct category ID, you saw that from 1 to 8, you saw all category IDs. Okay.
Yes.
A very simple, a very simple formula to join is SFJO. Okay.
Mm.
S means select, F means from,
From,
J means join,
join,
O means on.
on.
SFJO. Okay. In select, usually when you select a column, you write it like this. Select product name, comma, unit price, comma, and so on. Usually you write it like this. Okay.
Yes.
But when you are joining two or more tables, you have to provide the name of that table. Okay. So it's like you are selecting property of a table. So you will write it like select products dot product name. Okay. Products dot unit price and categories dot category name. Do you get this?
Mm.
So we are just writing whatever we are selecting. Before selecting, we are just writing something like this. Select product dot product name, products dot unit price. So we are using the table name to select the column name. Okay. And we know that, so this is selection. You can select all the columns from products table and select all the columns from categories table by just writing comma, comma, comma. Okay. Then in from, you can write, because we have written products first, so we can write from products. Okay.
Yes.
And we'll write join categories. So very important thing to understand is when we are writing like this, so whatever we have written with from, okay, whatever we have written with from is now left. Do you get this point or not?
Whatever we have written with
Products,
from is left. Okay. फ्रॉम में जो
okay,
भी लिखेंगे वो लेफ्ट साइड में होगा, आप ये कह रहे हैं?
exactly, right?
हम्म.
So that means we have put products on the left side. If we write, this is one way to remember this, okay? If we write from categories, okay,
हम्म.
then it will mean that we are
Category on the
putting
left.
categories on the left side, okay? So this is first thing to understand. When we write join, so this by default takes inner join, okay? By default, it takes inner join. So whether you write join or inner join, it will not make any difference because if we are not specifically defining or describing what type of join we are using, that means we are simply using the inner join. Okay.
Okay.
Now what you will do in on, you will write products dot category ID equal to categories
Dot
dot
category ID.
category ID. In some cases, these names may be different. Like the names and their case, everything may be different. Okay. In most of the cases, these names will be same. So category ID column in products table is same as category ID column in categories table. Okay.
Yes.
Now, very important thing. How many unique categories are there? 8. How many unique categories are there in products table? 8. Okay. So in this case, whether you apply inner join, left join, right join, whatever, you will get the same results. Do you get my point? Why? Because all the columns or all the category IDs in the categories table are present in products table. There are no products in products table that are without category IDs that are not in categories table. Do you get this point?
Hmm.
So, uh, if so, in such cases, if all the records from table A are there in table B, right? All the category IDs from table categories are there in category IDs in products table. So whatever type of join you apply, you get the same result. So we'll go to SQL and apply join here. And when you will put go, you will see the same result. Okay. Here you are seeing the category name. Chai belongs to beverages. This. If you write inner join, okay.
Hmm.
If you write inner join, then also same result. If you write left join, then also same result. Okay. So what now it becomes confusing, like in which case are we going to actually use the left join? Okay. Now, after considering this example, let's move ahead and in the categories table, we will insert one more record. Since it's the master table, it is not dependent on products table. Okay. But products table is dependent on categories table because in products table there is category ID.
Correct.
So suppose we add, we are going to add one category here. We are going to add a category called electronics. Okay, like TV, mobile, phones, etc. Electronics. Now, how many unique categories are there in this table? 9. Okay. Although in our primary key 10 is written, but actually unique select distinct category ID from categories is how much? 9. Okay.
Correct.
Right. You can count also, select count distinct category ID. So this
Correct.
is 9. Okay. Now, how many of them are in products table? You can see 9 total here. In products, 8 total.
Hmm.
So now the category ID 10, okay, is not present in the products table. Do you get my point?
Hmm.
So category ID 10, category ID 10 is not present in products table. All other category IDs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are present. Do you get this point?
Correct.
So if you want to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you will apply inner join.
Hmm.
Yes or no?
हाँ बिल्कुल सही इनर जॉइन करेक्ट.
Because in inner join, you will get all the common category IDs
Hmm.
between these two tables.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yes sir.
But if you have to get 1 to 8 and 10,
Yes.
so you will apply right join. Okay?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Because in this case, this is right join. The colored portion is right join. Okay?
Hmm.
Why is it right join? Because
It is including.
categories table is in right. Okay?
Hmm.
So you will write from products, right join. So let's try this. Okay. So now we already have the query.
Mm. Mm.
So we can write once again.
Mm.
So now let's write the join. So select
Mm.
products dot
Products dot product ID.
products dot product name.
Mm.
If you want to select product ID, you can select product ID.
Whichever
You
thing
can
you,
select them later. So
which is
product dot
already
product
formed there.
name,
Mm.
products dot unit price. We will select two columns.
ठीक है.
Category categories dot category ID
Mm.
and categories dot category name. I'm just selecting ID because I want to make sure that our concept is correct, right?
Correct.
So in the first line S, we selected everything from products. Why? Because the diagram that we kind of assumed in our head, in that diagram we put product on the left hand side. So that's why we have selected from products. Right join. First, we'll not do right or left. We'll join categories on products dot product dot category ID is equal to categories dot category ID. Okay, is the SQL
Right join.
clear? Right. This time we are not providing any specific type of join. This is inner join
Mm.
because we have just written join. So this is inner join.
Right join
So
syntax.
what So what you are seeing is you are seeing category ID 1, 2, let make it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Correct.
Are you seeing 10 here?
No.
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 Because 10 is not present in both of them. Okay.
Mm.
If we write left join, uh, if we write left join, so in this case also, you will see the same result.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm.
Why? Because all the category IDs in products table are there. Okay. So products table does not have 10 in it. But if you will write right join,
Mm. Mm.
now let's go to 500 records. Here you will see 10 and product name is null, unit price is null because it is not able to find
Mm.
its related value from the products table. So it will give you null. Okay.
Okay.
So, so this is right join. What is the purpose of right join? If we want to see everything from the right table, if we want to see all the records from the right table and matching records from the left table.
Mm.
If there are no matching records, then it will write null in those related columns because there is no related value. Okay.
Okay.
If we just reverse the role, okay, uh, if we just reverse, like if we write from categories, okay, right join products.
Okay. Mm.
So this means that we are considering products on the right hand side.
Mm.
Okay. Now we will not see 10
Mm.
because right because now the categories on the is on the left side. If you want to see 10, then left join, right? Because the categories table is now on the left side. Okay. You can see 10 now. So the concept is very clear. And this is how you can select these values. Okay. Now, what if we have to use three table joins? In most of the cases, if we are, like I'm saying, not always, but in most of the cases, if we are selecting three tables, okay, so 90% of the times we use inner join, because when there are three tables, we usually want to see all the all the common values only. Okay. Luckily, in this database, all the values are actually properly related. Okay. Like we just additionally added electronics. Otherwise, all the records of category were there in products. All the record of suppliers were there in products. Okay. If you seek products table closely, it has supplier ID and category ID.
Correct.
Okay. So now what we will display? We will display product name, supplier name, and category name. Okay. So let's see. Again, the formula will be SFJOJO. Okay. SFJOJO.
आप
And if you
तीन
have to
टेबल
write
कनेक्ट कर
where,
रहे हैं,
yeah,
तीन टेबल कनेक्ट कर
yeah,
रहे हैं.
yeah, we are going to join three tables. SFJO, then JO. Let's say you have to join 10 tables. So just write JO 9 times.
इतना सारा कनेक्शन
Okay.
होता है मुझे 10 टेबल्स तक का.
You can do any number, you can join all these tables together. Okay. So we'll discuss that later also. But since we have two tables to join, so in from write products, because product is something which has both category ID and
सप्लायर आईडी.
supplier ID. But what if we start with category? In category, there is no
सप्लायर
supplier
आईडी.
reference, but we can start with category. Let's try. Okay. So so we'll write select products. So we'll write it there. Okay. Because it will give us suggestions. So we'll select categories dot category name comma products dot product name suppliers dot supplier as what company name. Okay. Remember, I am not using any aliases because I don't want to confuse, but you can write categories as C, products as P, and suppliers as S. Because
करेक्ट.
in that way we can write short queries. That is something we'll discuss
लेकिन
later.
उसमें
Or
ना.
I from categories. Okay. Now, can and we are going to write join here SFJO. Okay. Now, can we write suppliers here? Join suppliers? I doubt that because category can only be joined with products, right?
करेक्ट, क्योंकि उनमें कॉमन नहीं होगा ना सप्लायर और कैटेगरी
Exactly.
कुछ भी.
Because they need nothing common. So we are going from A to B and B to C, right? So from categories join products on categories dot uh, category ID is equal to products dot category ID. Then again join. Now these two tables have been joined and it has now become a bigger table. So we are now joining the third table with this combination. Okay. Join suppliers on suppliers dot supplier ID is equal to products dot supplier ID. Is it okay? So we joined products with categories and suppliers with products. If our concept is correct, it will give us records and you can see. Okay. Chai is a beverages provided by a company called Exotic Liquids. Okay. Now later you can apply, things like where or whatever, like where product, or we can write where suppliers dot city or suppliers dot, okay, let's say right, city in London, comma Madrid. So here we are using the in operator, which will which is kind of a replacement for or. Okay, so we'll write it like this. Okay, so there are actually there is only one company, that Exotic Liquids, that either belongs to London or Madrid. So let's select the suppliers dot city to make sure that the city name is also printed. So it is from London. Okay. So now in where you can practice where and all the where clauses, all the comparison operators later. But first you have to understand this concept. Now suppose, so we have joined products with this. Okay. Now let's copy this. If you see order details, okay,
Hmm.
here we have product ID.
Hmm.
Okay. So now we can join this table also. So
Hmm.
SFJO, okay, and we'll write order details dot order, or maybe we don't want to select anything, but then we can write join order details on
Hmm.
order details dot product ID is
Hmm.
equal to products dot product ID, right?
Hmm.
Let's see, and we'll select order details dot, let's say
Order ID.
discount. Let's
ठीक है.
say
हाँ.
discount. So it will now give for every order, right? So yeah, and we can select order ID also, because that will be important. So we will select order ID in the first place. So order details dot order ID and this.
Hmm.
Let's go. So this will give us for every order ID what was the discount, what was the category name. Okay, so now we have joined kind of four tables. So if there are four tables, then three JO will be there, right? And one F will be there. Now with order details, we can join orders,
Yeah.
because in these two tables we have common, right?
We have
So then
common
we will
order ID.
select, yeah, so then we will select orders dot,
Order ID.
let's say orders dot order date. We already have the order ID, right? So we'll select
Okay. Hmm.
orders dot order date. Okay.
ठीक है.
And here we'll write join. Now what we'll write? Join
Uh,
orders
Order dot
on
order ID.
order dot order ID is equal to order details
Hmm.
dot
Order ID.
order ID. Let's select this. So now we also have the date of this order. Now if let's select all of this. Let's examine orders table. So in orders table we have customer ID. Okay. So that means we can join the customer table with this. Okay. So now what we'll do, we'll select customers dot customer name or company name, and then now since we are selecting it, we have to join it also. Join customers on customers dot customer ID is equal to orders dot customer ID, right? Let's go. Now we are getting some error. Company name. So it is giving us some error. You have error near company name. So we have written some wrong syntax there. Let's select. Okay, we have forgot to add comma here. Okay, because these are all column selections, right? So we have to put comma. So now you can see, right? So this way, and actually we can join employees also because in orders table we have employee ID also. So we can write employee dot first name, and again we have to use the order. Join employees on employees dot
Employee
employee ID is equal to orders dot. You just have to remember which particular table has that column. Okay, which particular table has that? So you just have to write. So it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables, right? Now you can see.
ID.
So I'm just giving one example. Now this is a kind of a homework for you also. Like, can you
Join.
efficiently join all of these tables together, with the same concept? Obviously, this video will be there to help you, but this is something that you have to do. Now, when you have to use where, right, or something, then whatever your where clause values are will be here. Okay. After doing this, don't get confused that we have to put where in between. Okay. Don't get confused.
Where will be
First,
pertaining to categories only.
yeah, where can be applied on any, now since we have joined all of these tables, right?
Mm.
So we can apply where on columns of any of these tables. Okay. So it is like that. So in itself, it has become a very big table, right? A very, very big table which consists of 7 tables. So it is a very big virtual table, you can say. Okay. And from there you can apply where. So that's, we'll keep it simple here. First thing you have to understand is the concept of left and right join. I
Yes.
guess now it will be more clear to you. Okay. And it's just what you are writing, it's just what table you are writing with from. Okay. You
Mm.
can consider, draw it on the left hand side and then other on the right hand side. Then on the basis of that, write your query. Okay. And then you can join, and similarly we can go on and join actually all of them together. Okay. So you can consider that as your homework also because you already know the relation between them. If any time you have to find out relationship, I am using php myadmin. Otherwise we already have their ER diagram. So here we have the ER diagram. Okay. So here you can see which tables are actually connected, which tables are not connected. So you can see that. Okay. Price is stock is something that is just given. It is not connected with any other table, like a view. So you can see this. With the help of this, you will be able to understand, right? Like which table can be joined with which table. And this is something which will help you in understanding joins in a better way.
Mm.
Okay. So you can take a screenshot, or otherwise you already have the ER diagram, because in our previous classes of data analytics also we have discussed this particular database a lot. So this is something you can try, and we have done the same thing in Tableau. We have done the same thing in Power BI, and it can be done in Python also, Python pandas. and now you can analyze. What you can do after joining all of them, okay, let's say you have joined all of them, you can create a very big view, okay, that kind of contains everything. So you can create a view now. You already have these tables, so you can create a view. So create view orders. We are calling this orders my orders. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Create view my orders as and this query. So we'll run this, duplicate. Again, we have to think about that because the now we have to actually apply those, you know, aliases because this company name. So we'll write suppliers company name as supplier and customers company name as customer because the same column is appearing twice. Okay. So now let's see. Now the view is created. We will go to my order. So the sample superstore data that we actually see in Excel format, if you consider closely, it actually comes from a database like this, right? It's
Yes,
just in that one big Excel file, we have all the columns from different tables, right? So,
yes.
so this is something now, this view is something that you can connect with something like Power BI, right? So just giving example, let's open Power BI. Although this is not necessary for people who are learning SQL, but this is just something extra. So these BI tools like Power BI, Tableau, or Looker Studio,
Mm,
you have to go to Data Connector, and here you will find MySQL Data Connector. Okay. When we are connecting with MySQL or any other database, so there will be a server. Server in our case is 127.0.0.1, which is nothing but IP address of our local host.
right.
Okay. If our database was on web server, like some real-time web server, so this would have been the IP address of that server. Database is trading DB, right? And we can write SQL statement or something to you know uh, kind of select anything, but we'll select the entire database. Okay, we'll use credentials. In my case, username is root and password is blank. So when you are working with real databases,
Mm.
this is something that your server administrator will provide you. Okay, so you can ask them. It is saying we couldn't authenticate.
सर आपने पूरा नॉर्थ विंड डेटा अपनी वेबसाइट पे कैसे आपने सिमिलर डेटा सेट बनाया अपनी वेबसाइट पर?
Yeah, actually, we don't have to use the Windows authentication. We have to use the database authentication. I, so we'll just write this and connect. And now you will say, no, now you can see all the tables and views. We only have to select view now. We don't have to select all the tables. So we can do the joining here also. I already have that video on my channel. You can see. But since we have already created the view in SQL, so we can load that view here. And now we have this. Okay. And let's select city and order ID, whatever. So you can now see. Okay. So now you are kind of analyzing the SQL database in Power BI. Now
करेक्ट.
to your question, uh, this is called PHP My Admin.
Mm,
PHP My Admin comes with a tool called XAMPP. Okay,
mm,
so there are two ways to connect with a MySQL database.
mm,
One is MySQL Workbench. Okay. So you have MySQL Workbench. You can use MySQL Workbench to connect. Okay. Like this is the local connection created. We can connect here. You can see all the databases, right? If you want to analyze any particular database, this is the file. If you want to analyze query, you can see the records here. So either you can use MySQL Workbench or you can use PHP MyAdmin. So this is nothing but I am just the server is MySQL server that you have to understand. Now, what tool you use to connect with this server is up to you. Either you can use PHP MyAdmin or you can use MySQL Workbench, or in this case, you can see we have used Power BI to connect with this server. Okay, so MySQL is like a server, and you can see MySQL server is running. But with the help of XAMPP, actually, this is something we are using. So uh, we are also developing this school software. So, this is school software. So that's why I was using this. So I just gave you an example on PHP XAMPP is used by PHP developers. Okay. So it helps us in connecting with MySQL databases. That's it. So this was a simple introduction about joins, how you can join, when to use inner, when to use right, and when to use left. Outer join is something you understand, it combines all the tables, right? And whether records are related or not related, it will present. So outer join is something that is present in SQL Server. So I have a dedicated video for that, which I'll upload later. I'll give it to you.